So, I recently liberated my first Genesis weapon, a small achievement by today's standards, but I would still like to share the story of my Genesis liberation. Like many, I've quit and rejoined this mushroom game numerous times, but I've always ended up on another zero. However, the Genesis essence, an item needed for zeros to liberate their weapons, has always been out of reach for me, due to the BlackMage being too difficult at the time or losing motivation to play the game. And how would someone obtain their Genesis weapon, you may be asking? Well, I was about to tell you, silly boy. The Genesis questline is an 8-month-long process which only begins once you have successfully cleared Hard BlackMage, where a quest item is dropped to start the Genesis Liberation questline, where each month you would need to clear BlackMage, as well as one of his 8 commanders in a series of challenges more commonly referred to as the Genesis missions. If say Lil Jimothy here can find someone willing to carry him through the BlackMage fight, he too would be able to start the Genesis questline, where the main challenge to Jimothy would be to clear the Genesis missions. And that being said, the 8th and final Genesis mission was against VerusHilla, under the conditions of her having 3 bars of HP instead of 4, and I wanted to set a handicap to make my clear feel more deserved. Heavily inspired by Influence's liberation video, I decided to not use any healing familiars, as healing familiars take away the most difficult aspect of VerusHilla's mechanics, the heal lock. And sheesh the baby, she's dead. And now all that was left between me and my Genesis weapon was to wait 1 more month for my trio to kill BlackMage one last time to get the remnant drop to complete the Genesis questline. But the dog in me was not satisfied. After years of playing Zero, was there no reasonable challenge to give myself the feeling of validation? Validation of my liberation. Oh shit, that rhymed. And then I remembered. The big bad BlackMage himself is also a boss I could be attempting to solo. Not sure why it never crossed my mind, but with that revelation, I decided my final Genesis mission would be to solo Hard BlackMage. Mage. It's kinda hard to say it after a while. BlackMage. Mage. With those preparations done, these were my final gear and stats. And according to a KMS calculator that does the math for you, I was mathematically ready to face the big man. Sorry. So phase 1 and 2 were not much of an issue. With some small adjustments and practice, I was consistently making it past them with minimal lives lost. I thought to myself, things are looking kinda good for this challenge. And then phase 3 kicked my ass, man. This phase 3 BGM lives in my brain rent-free, bro. Just something about the amount of bullshit flying at you in phase 3, man. It just overloads my brain. It's like, I think you really should Hero's Wheel right now. You really should press that button right now. And then it's like, oh fuck, I don't press it. I'm sorry, John. I'm sorry I didn't study the BlackMage Kahoot. You as an intellectual might be saying, skill issue, bro, or hands issue, man. You would be right. So I got back to practicing. I did practice runs daily and sometimes twice a day if I had the time. With a new plan where I would only pop my G skills in phase 3 because the run is so damn long, I think it would help me to break the shields in P3 as they're really thick. Slowly but surely, I was making it closer and closer to phase 4. And finally on my, what run is this? 28th run, I finally made it to phase 4. And after smacking him for like 10 minutes, I only did like 30% of his HP. Clearly this was not happening. Motivated by finally reaching phase 4, I gathered all the buffs I could humanely acquire, as I attempted once again. But after 58 minutes, the big man proved that he was still too much for me. I did not have the damage, and I was not making the timer. With that, I reluctantly put this challenge on hold as I wanted to focus on my upcoming exams. There was one last buff I hadn't used yet. Basically in phase 4, it is easier to play with the creative curse active as you would be able to use potions and have a passive healing effect. But if you were to have the destructive curse active, you would be unable to heal but get a final damage bonus. Which in my case, is exactly what I needed. On 29th April, with only one last day in April left before the reset, I entered BlackMage one last time. And it finally happened. With only 1 minute to spare, this was a boss fight I'd never forget. If I had my mic on for recording, it might have probably sounded something like "Sheesh the baby!" And yeah, after a total of 31 attempts, for the first time I was able to liberate my Genesis weapon. And this is my current weapon stats. I think my potentials is alright. I do plan to upgrade the flames slowly with event black flames. And hopefully I get lucky with some magnificent souls down the line, and yeah, I'm gonna be done with this weapon. And yeah, thank you to all my friends who sticked around to watch all my runs, buffed me up all the time when I needed it, for this definitely unnecessary challenge. And thank you to random viewer for sticking around to watch till the end. Bye bye. There's nothing else. Goodbye. I don't have an end card. Bye.